Do you suffer from depression, whether it's seasonal or just happening from certain circumstances? In this video, I'm going to share with you 3 tips that can help you get over depression instantly. Hey, Jason here. If you've been watching the channel, you've been seeing me as I've been going through this nomad journey. 9 years in the game now. I'm now on my 4th country in Zambia. And let's go ahead and get into today's topic, which is about depression. And so, if you know me and you've been following me for a long time, you know around this time of the year is when I start suffering from my seasonal depression. And because of what happened 2 years ago in 2022, when the loss of when my wife Cece passed away, it has intensified this time of the year for me. Now, the reason why I'm sharing this is, oh, hey, kitty. So the reason why I'm sharing this isn't for sympathy or things like this. Like, I want you to understand, like, depression is a natural thing and it's a natural part of mental health. Most of us, as not only people, but especially big within the Black community, mental health is one of those things that we do not talk about. We shun on it. We actually go so far as to make jokes about it. And it's not something you should joke about. It's something you should take very serious. And you should understand, even when you're in a bad place, it has positivities in there that can help you. It's kind of funny that the cat is out here because it's going to show you one of the things I was going to share with you. And so for me, around this time of the year, it's close to my birthday. It's coming up within a month. And right around my birthday, within a literal 2-week period, a lot of people that I cared about and loved passed away. So people like my grandmother, my brother, one of my cousins, a good friend of mine, my wife, and my mother-in-law. So for my birthday time, it's usually just a reminder of all the people that I'm missing. Like, I don't get those phone calls anymore. I don't get to call and wish them happy birthday anymore. We don't hang out. And so you may be like, yeah, I can understand why you get depressed around this time, Jason. But I don't just let myself sit in the depression. I give myself a moment to soak a little, to feel the emotions, to feel the loss, the longing. And then I put myself into a higher vibration. And so that's why I wanted to talk to you and share with you today, because I think it's very helpful. And the biggest thing about depression that people don't tell you is the sooner you can start moving, the better you feel. All right, that's the crazy thing about it. The more you sit down, you're just sitting there, you're just in a depressive state, the longer it can last. This is how I went from being depressed for months at a time to where now it may be a few days to maybe just a week or so, which is incredible. If you talk to someone who has been severely depressed, they will tell you, like, man, they would give an arm and a leg to just be depressed for maybe a couple of days. And so the first thing is to download some type of audible book. And what it's going to do is, you don't even have to be paying attention to it. Just listen to it. It's going to start going into your subconscious mind. And you're going to just start feeling your vibration go higher. You consciously do not have to pay attention to the book because what it's going to do is going to get you in a different state. Now, I recommend doing professional development books. And the reason why is these books are going to be asking certain questions throughout the chapters, and are going to be given certain scenarios. It's going to make you automatically start thinking about something that is completely different than what you're actually depressed about. One of the best ways to actually get out of a depressed state is to change your focus. And that's a lot easier said than done when you're actually going through the depression. So many people be like, well, just stop being depressed. If it was that easy, man, do you know how many people would no longer be depressed anymore? You know how many people who would not be on antidepressants? It would be a large number of people. But it's not as easy as it is when you're in that state. And most of the time when you're in the state, you don't even realize you're actually suffering from depression. That's the key. These mental health things, because we do not talk about them, they just be happening to us. And we don't have the way to actually start controlling them better because we do not talk about these things. I can tell you personally, for me, I didn't realize the day that I was suffering from depression until one day I was talking with Cece, this when we was back in the US. And because I saw and I was reading a lot of her DSMs and really trying to understand mental health better, I realized one day I woke up and I told her, I'm like, man, I'm depressed. And it was like a light bulb went off. I started to understand what I was suffering from. I stopped feeling like, man, something's wrong with me. And I realized I was going through something and I had to get over it. And so please understand that like the things that I'm giving you sound simple, but apply them, try them. Because when you actually start doing these things, you'll start seeing, wait, these things really work. But when you're just sitting there from a state of, that's too easy, that ain't going to work, you're never going to get out of that state. And I was depressed for many, many years before I was willing to start doing things. So please hear me on that part. The second thing you want to do is surround yourself or get a couple of animals that you can just play with. Like just right now, there was the neighbor's cat. He comes over, so I give him water. He was just actually trying to catch a lizard. And so animals are really good when you're going through depression. Cats are amazing, especially if you get breeds such as Russian blues. They're actually really, really keen on if you're depressed or feeling down. And their main focus is just part of their behavior patterns is they will come and try to cheer you up. One of the ways that cats try to cheer you up and raise your vibration is by they will try to manipulate your frequency through their pairs. And what I mean by that, if you ever felt a cat when they're sitting on your lap and they're just that vibration, that I don't know how to make the noise perfectly, but if you know what I'm talking about as a cat person and that frequency, when they come and do that on you, it's raising the frequency of the cells in your body. It's actually manipulating your cells. And what they're doing is they're trying to put you in a better state of mind, a clearer state of mind. And so animals are really good at this. Dogs are really good at it too. Dogs will get you to move out of the house. They will get you into action. If a dog see you're too depressed, they will try to tell you, hey, I need to go for a walk. Hey, I need to go outside and use the bathroom, even though they don't have to. What they're really doing is they're trying to manipulate you to get up and move, to change the frequency of your body, to change your state of being. And so animals are really great. So don't be afraid to surround yourself with animals. You can go to cat cafes, even go to places like the adoption places, the shelters, PetSmart, Petco in the United States. All of these different things are really good for you. And then the third one is get up and move. Just go for a light walk. Don't exercise. Go for a light walk. Because if you tell yourself I'm going to go exercise, it can put you in a more depressed state because now you're trying to force yourself to do something that you don't want to do already. But if you just say, hey, I'm going to just take a nice stroll and just walk around, breathe in the air, focus on your breathing, focus on what you hear, actually look and see what's all going around. Look at the different colors, all of these different things, using your senses while you're walking is going to change your frequency. You're going to start feeling better. Remember, we're electrical beings. Like we're not just physical flesh. We have electricity charged all through our body. And the more negative charge you have, the more depressed and all those things are. But if you start creating a positive charge, it's going to change your energy. It's going to change your state of being. This is how you change your emotions. And remember, emotions is energy in motion. And if you ever suffer from depression, you know your energy is not moving that much. You're usually sitting down, you're in a one state, or laying down in the bed. But once you change that energy to moving, it becomes a different thing. You start feeling better. And you don't have to worry about going from super depressed to I'm ecstatic, I want to be around people. No, just feel a little better. If you go from super depressed to where, I'm still lightly depressed. I feel a little bit better. Better is going to always trump perfection. And that is the key to how you start battling mental health. Because with mental health, it's about going up the levels. It's not about skipping. And this is where, let me see, how can I word this? This is where I feel modern psychology, I can't even call it modern psychology. Traditional psychology actually messes up. And the reason why I say that is pills do not work. It's not going to take you from a long-term standpoint of I'm depressed to I'm happy. I was taking antidepressants for well over 10 years. I was depressed every day on antidepressants. Plus the antidepressants gave me other side effects that made me even more depressed. So you have to learn how to regulate these things yourself. It's about regulating your emotions. And so doing these simple things can really help you out. And here's a fourth one just to help you in case you don't want to do any of those three. Take a piece of bread and go feed some birds in your yard. Feed the birds in your yard. You're going to be shocked. So when you start feeding birds in your yard, they will start coming there every morning. And when they're chirping or singing how we think they're doing, that vibration actually makes you feel better. Even if it's annoying and wake you up out of your sleep, it's making you feel better. When birds start chirping, it tells nature to wake up. And so it's waking you up also. We're all part of nature also. We're all in a harmony with this cycle of life. And so if you start feeding birds also, that is something that can help you. Hearing them chirping, seeing them eating, seeing something else get gratification from something that you did will actually affect you and help boost your mental health. Please don't slam. Sorry about that. I got both doors open, the wind blowing through, and it slammed the other door shut. That's why I stopped talking. But I just wanted to share that with you. If you have any comments or any questions, just leave them down below. If you're someone that's had mental health, been dealing with mental health, and you've been working on it and improving it too, leave any suggestions that you have below that could help someone. I'm not the perfect person on this. Like, I'm just sharing with you things that I practically do that I use to help me on a day-to-day basis. And so if you have something that helped you, leave it down below. The more information we share with one another, the better we all will be together. Like, it's about creating harmony and unity. And so don't be afraid to share information that you're dealing with that is helping what you're dealing with here below. And just remember this, I'm Jason, and success is simple once you know how.